It's the 10 to 1 podcast with your host, Brad Oman, featuring Ben Conowitz and Joe Wicker. Whoa. And here's the podcast.
Hey.
Whoa.
We fired Nate.
That's right. He wanted to go on to bigger and better things, and we said, get the F.O.
Season 51 shakeup.
Yep. Just like Lauren did, we're following Papa's footsteps, and Nate has been kicked out of the podcast.
Forever. And our lives. We don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, actually. And
he actually moved to Maine.
He went to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
So, no, just kidding. Nate, but Nate will be back. He has not been fired, but he's on a special trip. Which sounds ominous, but it's not.
No, he's just taking a little vacation, man. It's good for him.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is we don't mind that he disrespected the schedule and didn't pay attention to when the new SNL season started. And
it's only the most important episode of the year so far.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's this is a boring episode, not the season premiere. You know, it's just like if Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian hosted.
Well,
who cares?
At least the good news is there's really no juxtaposition between how much of a dumpster fire the world is and the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that Nate skipped because of Bad Bunny.
Oh, that's a good call.
This says a lot about him.
Got some real Danica Patrick vibes from him.
Also, he's not here to defend himself, and I love this.
Do you think he'll listen to
time
the
we've
podcast
accused-
to find out? Then?
He won't.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might.
Brad, when you've had to miss Go Flix Yourself, or
No.
you've never listened to it.
No. God, no.
And so we talk so much open shit about him because he doesn't listen to it when he misses.
Why would I listen to something shitty?
That's true.
It's almost like you have to say something to find out if they're listening. That's what you have to do.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the episode, let's talk a little bit about Joe Wicker. Joe Wicker, you have been listening to this show for a while, and we're good friends.
Day one.
So what's your history with SNL? Have you watched it ever since you could remember? Like, when did you first remember watching the show?
Yes. So I remember specifically back in middle school, always staying up and watching it, and then going to church with my family the next day and talking with friends that I was with. They were like, "Did you see that sketch? Did you see that?" So of course it was the Wayne's World, the Chris Farleys. Those were the era of people that I came with. My parents didn't really grow up. I didn't grow up watching it with my parents or anything like that. Whereas now my kids sit up with me and watch it.
Well, your daughter Ava,
Yep.
right? She said that she has notes, and she's like, can you at least shoehorn in a couple of my notes? And
Yes.
we can't wait to hear, because how old is she?
She's 16.
So 16-year-old, and I love that there's a next generation that's interested in the show. So I actually do really want to hear.
She
what
was
has to say
very
about it.
invested in some of the people that got let go or that left the show. She was very devastated.
Well, they've been on the show for 7 years. She would have been if she's been watching for a while. You're right.
Yep.
That's her childhood, right? Like
Yep.
Ego Wodenham and
That was
Heidi,
Ego Wodenham was one of the big ones
She's
she's missing.
9 years old and learning about these people, and then kind of growing up with them. So that's a big change. We don't think about that. So so growing up, obviously, with people in your life that leave a show, it's a cool perspective because I started watching SNL probably about the same time as you, and so for us though, when people left back then, it wasn't, to me, when Chris Farley left the show or whatever, I don't ever remember being like, oh no, because I had just kind of gotten into it, and that back then they didn't stay as long. I don't think they stayed as long,
No.
on average, right now.
Plus,
these
we
days
weren't
it's happening
losing
more and
them
more.
to unknown things. Chris
Right.
Farley was in movies.
Yeah.
So when he left, we were like, well, he's
Yeah.
just going to do more movies.
Now that's fair. I want to know. That's good research. I want to know when you left the show, and instead of being let go, like after the first year or whatever, if you left for bigger and better things, and now you're leaving, and there's so much noise and content out there. If Edie Bryant leaves and she goes to what was the show she was on? Shrill, right? But that's not for everybody. It wasn't like she was a major movie star when she left. And Kate McKinnon left, and she's done Ghostbusters and some things here and there, but not launching the major
Ghostbusters before she left.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, if you're looking for these people to now be A-list, stars, Will Ferrell, is a one-off these days compared to who's leaving the show day after day. They're not getting, major motion picture deals like they used to.
I mean, not deals in the sense of like, and that's only mostly because the media landscape has changed.
Exactly, and that's what I'm
so
saying.
much.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to them. I'm saying there's just so much out there. You can just do schmigadoon.
Right.
Yeah, there's that.
But it got canceled.
There's that.
Exactly.
After 2 seasons.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Now, that's what we're agreeing. Why does it sound like you're being contentious? We're agreeing and you're not agreeing.
Well, it's a different media landscape.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you very much filling in for Mr. Nate Laux.
So,
And we'll see how this goes. Maybe it's permanent. Oh.
So before we get to the episode breakdown, first I want to address a couple things that happened since we recorded our preseason episode.
I want to interrupt you because I wanted to give a shout out real quick. Charlie Young is here, and he's our audio engineer and producer basically for today because Nate normally does all this. So we brought in a heavy hitter in Mr. Charlie Young. We're also recording upstairs at my house instead of downstairs because there's a freaking cricket.
Yeah, we thought we got them last time we recorded. They live and have multiplied, so we're in a living room. So you might hear a slight more echo than usual.
So we're just so professional, guys. So
As they take over, parts of the house will be closed off.
We'll be in the closet next week.
This is how horror movies start.
Yeah, so that's the less of the housekeeping. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to get everybody out there. Thank you, Charlie, for doing it. Joe, thanks for being here. And sorry about the cricket last time, Andy Tulsky.
Cool. So since we recorded the preseason episode, there was one more writer departure. August White left the series.
Okay.
She's no longer writing for the show. One of the sketches' more recent memory that she had a hand in writing was the Washington's Dream sketch with Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
So definitely a good writer. She'll be missed. However, SNL, as they've been known to do, has hired a bunch of new writers this season. And so we'll start hearing these names as the season goes on. Jack Bensinger, Tucker Floodman, Maxwell Gay, Claire McFadden, Rachel Pegram, Joe Sunday, and Maddie Weiner are all new
These
writers.
all sound made up.
Those
real
last
names.
two are very made up names.
Zesty Jorts, is that one of them that's in there?
So they're going to be on a test basis.
Joe Sunday. That's a real name. Okay, no, I'm fine.
Sounds racist.
How does me saying Joe Sunday?
It's the way
sound
you
like-
say it. Like you hear a name and you think that doesn't sound right to me because it's not a white name.
Well, I don't like people from Ibiza.
Wow. Anyway, so unfortunately, because we are recording this earlier on a Sunday and the SNL cast and writers are likely still hungover, we don't have any information as far as who wrote what sketch because that information usually comes out Sunday evening into Monday during the day once like certain things start getting posted. But there's no list or like posts that are seemingly available to let us know who wrote on which sketch. So we won't have any of that information this time.
Even though Nate does a lot of heavy lifting on that, I really did try. I went on Twitter, X, sorry, as Nate would say.
No, it's Twitter.
And I went on Reddit on the Live from New York subreddit and kind of scoured the comments just to see. And then I used my best friend ChatGPT, and he didn't really know.
That's because ChatGPT is wrong, and when it tried to put the sketches in order, it got that wrong too. So, but you know what?
But at least got a lot of the cast members, right?
Hey, you know what? We got some time to talk about ChatGPT later in this episode, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So getting into the show, let's just start with the cold open and get right into it. We have Pete Hegseth's addressing of the American military, which was obviously a big news story. And we have Jeremy Culhane making his debut as the general introducing Pete Hegseth, and Colin Jost in a rare sketch appearance as a character playing Pete Hegseth in this sketch.
I do wonder how many times in the show's history has a featured performer been the first person like a brand new featured performer been the first person you see on a new season. I don't know that that's probably ever happened.
It's a good question. I'm willing to bet it happens slightly more often than we think, but like not a lot because
in an ensemble though, like here's 5 people in the sketch. That's one thing, but like just
he was
him
by
by himself.
Well, that's what I mean. Is I think more often than not, what happens is they might give a very bit part where someone is introducing the main character of a sketch to
and that's
a featured
exactly
player.
how they did
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
I love it, by the way. If that was a thing that they could do every year, just like that's a fun thing for me. Like that's like what a cool thing for his parents to see, you know?
Yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he didn't flub the line.
So we have Colin Jost as Pete Hegseth, and it's kind of perfect making the guy who's mocked for being the whitest person on the SNL cast as Pete Hegseth and having
Absolutely.
deliver the speech.
It doesn't hurt that he looks almost like he could truly be his brother. Like
of
they
course.
are legitimately very similar looking. And the hairstyle was perfect, you know?
Direction, just go up there, be a bro.
Yeah.
Just hold your arms out a bit, be a bro.
Yeah.
The sketch itself, I think, fine. You know, it's again, we've run into the problem of where it's so hard to lampoon what's already so ridiculous and so stupid. You know, one of the dumbest speeches ever given to the American military.
Yeah.
Joe, are you over the freeze frame stuff, or are you still? I'm still in. I still think it's funny to freeze frame the characters and talk about
I liked it, especially in this. Yeah, I usually like it just because sometimes the premise that they're starting with isn't
right.
It's pretty thin.
Yeah.
So they know that that's why they're doing it because they're not going to follow all the way through. This was nice, especially when Colin froze in the position he was.
Right.
Because he knew he was going to have to hold it. And then, him being able to kind of interact with James Austin Johnson was pretty good.
Shout out to the makeup department for the wound on Trump's hand. One of the most disgusting things I've ever seen on live TV. That was disgusting. I loved it.
I bet you it's probably hard for them to make it look bad.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Because it's just terrible whenever, I don't understand how no one can do natural makeup to make his hand look like that. It's probably because no one gives a shit.
Well, I mean, look, he basically walks into a paint sprayer every morning, so it's and it just stops close to his ears.
Yeah.
He's not even trying anymore.
I bet you could put an orange peel on it and it would blend in better
Absolutely.
than the makeup.
100%.
Yeah. Or like a Cheeto fart.
I mean, there's got to be somebody that works at some sort of funeral home that can do lifelike makeup
Probably.
to make someone that's on death's doorstep not look like The Walking Dead.
But I'll bet you that person would also make it much more lifelike than actual Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? We can hope.
I don't want to.
Oh, sorry. We had a bit part by Mikey Day as FCC chairperson.
Brendan Carr?
Brendan Carr.
Good job.
Yeah, didn't know his name. Don't care.
You don't care about the guy who tried to ruin media and censor
don't care about-
journalists
I don't care
and
about
ruin
him.
Jimmy Kimmel?
I don't care about him.
Should know his name so that you know how to bring him down.
Well, it's Brendan, not Brandon.
I said Brendan.
No, the Trump said Brandon in the sketch. Remember? Yeah, I did it. I watched the show.
I did like the dig at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. That was, and then Colin just saying I didn't get invited.
I didn't get an offer.
I would say fine for a cold open. It's kind of just par for the course with the cold opens that have been decent when it comes to the political stuff. So
And looking back at the Monday morning quarterbacking this thing, Sunday morning quarterbacking this thing, unfortunately, that's one of the high points probably of the show. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of this episode, and I know we're going to get into it more and more.
I wouldn't know if I would say this is a high point. I would say it's just a midpoint.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those where they didn't do anything that most of the other late night talk shows didn't do after the whole FCC Jimmy Kimmel thing.
And that's
where
always
they all pretend we got to be on our best behavior now.
That's always the trouble when SNL comes, later in the game.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the monologue.
Of course, we have Bad Bunny, who's hosting for a second time. Bad Bunny also set a record with this hosting stint because he becomes the first cast member to... He becomes the first host to headline 2 episodes in a row because for the season 50 finale, he was the musical guest. And so they've never had an instance where someone has been the musical guest and host in back-to-back episodes, which is pretty cool.
And Nate sent us a graphic that said previously what was the record of shortest time between hostings and things like Candace Bergen and Billy Crystal back in the day. And then I looked it up because I thought maybe in the last 15 years, though, John Mulaney is probably one of them because, they host year after year. And it was John Mulaney, Chris Hemsworth, and Melissa McCarthy all within almost a calendar year of each other, right? 272 days. But Bad Bunny ending one season and beginning the next, obviously a record and never going to be broken. It can be tied, right? But the crazy part to me is it feels like it's been forever. And I honestly think it's because the Trump presidency, if he's only been in office, 7, 9 months, whatever.
9 months, yeah.
It feels like years. And so now
Why?
I'm it's a hellscape. But the crazy part is it feels like, Bad Bunny hasn't hosted in a year or more because of just how much is going on in the world these days. So yeah, I was happy to see him back. I mean, the Shrek stuff from Please Don't Destroy the first time around, when him and Marcelo Hernandez tried to what was it when they found spices around the world in that pre-tape?
Yeah, the Explorers sketch.
That was awesome. Yeah. I just remember laughing a lot and thinking, wow, for a guy who's not a native speaker, good Lord, he's good.
And since then, one of Brad's favorite movies has come out featuring him, Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes, of course, yeah. Big laughs and, maybe one of the better written movies we've ever seen.
Yeah. A triumph, I think it said on the poster, a triumph.
And that was from Ethan_Anderton said, best movie of the year.
Yeah, I came so hard to see the movie.
And then you left disappointed because it's not very good.
Yeah, and it didn't make me jizz.
Okay. But hey, I broke a record for cameos, so that's good.
Did it?
I don't know. I did 72 cameos in it or whatever.
Yeah, but most of them don't count because they're golfers.
Hey, golfers are people.
And a football player.
We don't talk about him. Except, did you know that there's a whole song about his dick on Taylor Swift's new album?
I've heard.
That's fun.
What?
Real thing.
Oh God, I don't want to do this anymore.
What? Talk about Travis? Fuck. I can't even. His dick is so big, I get flustered.
If you had teenage daughters, you would know about it because I have
Because
heard about
Travis
it.
Kelce shows his dick to so many teenagers.
No, keep it classy, guys. Just because Nate's not here, we got to keep it classy.
He can't hear me.
He's not listening.
Exactly.
Okay.
We won't hear, won't hurt him.
Moving on.
I'm going to move on to you. So the monologue.
It featured Jon Hamm.
It did, yeah. Jon Hamm from Mad Menos.
You are just on one today.
So that was hilarious. First of all, the video of Jon Hamm at the concert
dancing,
and then
just
being there in the
in
studio,
in the same outfit.
That was very fun. The monologue was okay.
Yeah,
No, it's I did like that Bad Bunny made fun of himself and his dancing on stage, which was very
Now,
amusing.
at the end of that clip of him dancing, it did look like he injured his knee.
I think he was pretending, like he, at least maybe joking around
on
that he
the
did.
stage. But it was concert footage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fake, and it was really him. And I think, and he didn't draw attention to that in his monologue
Right.
though. And so as I half expected due to that clip him being like, it was so complicated that I injured myself because he really does look like he hurt his knee in that. It was weird. But no, I mean it was fine. It again the Fox News bit of clipping it together like he's his favorite superstar. Like that's fun. I like that.
Yeah, I'm glad he's doing the Super Bowl, and I hope that racists love it.
Yes.
They do. They
Good.
love it so much.
Especially when they can't figure out that he's from this country.
Exactly.
They think he's some weird foreigner. And he's not.
He's Puerto Rican.
Hey, speak English.
Oh my God, I hate it so much.
Sing country.
Sing country.
All right, so let's get into the rest of the episode.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, Jeopardy with Bad Bunny. Not Celebrity Jeopardy, not Black Jeopardy, and not even Puerto Rican Jeopardy.
And honestly, it wasn't even Jeopardy because it wasn't I'm Ken Jennings. They didn't even name he didn't have a funny name. So it was just Jeopardy. Was he supposed to be Ken Jennings?
Well, that's because typically when they come back from commercial break for the second round of Jeopardy, he doesn't reintroduce himself on the show.
Okay, that's fair.
But because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, he didn't say himself, but they're coming back after having already done the first round of Jeopardy.
So we're gonna live in the universe of the realism.
Correct.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, he's supposed to be Ken Jennings.
Fair enough.
Because he's the host of Jeopardy.
I said fair enough. I'm agreeing with you. Why are you being mean?
Ken Jennings is the host of Jeopardy. So we have Kenan Thompson and new cast member Veronica Slowikowska as the second contestant, and then Bad Bunny as Duke, who's terrible at the game because he does not phrase answers in the form of a question, which is okay.
Yeah. Luck ass
Yeah.
instead of
Luck ass,
Lucas.
yes.
Okay.
I will say, I think that the premise itself was pretty lazy, but I did appreciate the humor of when they got to the Baha Men and the answer being a question and him trying to figure out how to do that.
And that Keenan understood and was able to
and then go.
Was that your mindset?
No, not even close. That's funny, and that is good escalation. It's not weird escalation, but it's escalation enough for the complicated humor started making sense. And I did. You're right. I didn't laugh out loud necessarily, but I really did appreciate that.
Yeah, but the rest of the sketch is so basic, and it's like Dismuke's reaction to like how adorable it's like, you're so close. Like that goes a little bit, but for SNL, it just feels like this is what we're coming out of the gate with after the monologue.
Yeah. There was a bit of a flub from what's her name again?
Veronica Slowikowska.
Yeah. So she answered the question actually wrong. She said what instead of who.
Now, I was going to say, does
actually,
anybody get pissed off when that happens on the show? Because I do not like that.
It is strange, but they don't penalize for that. Because,
yeah, I know.
Because and in that case, you're not talking about a person, you're talking about a name. So it's what is Barbara, because Barbara isn't a person. It's three different people, and the answer
I wondered
is the
how
name.
that worked.
Yeah. They wouldn't scrutinize, even if she had said who or what. They wouldn't say, sorry, you have to say who is. That's typically not a thing. It's pretty much always
so
what.
So do you think that's how it was written?
Yeah.
And then, so it wasn't her mistake.
No.
Yeah.
On the cue card, it said what?
What is? Yeah, it has to. Yeah, especially because
I literally did the same
I
thing.
assumed it was a mistake, and I
did she
really
slip
don't like
up?
it when they use it improper on the show. I watch Jeopardy pretty avidly.
Yeah, same.
And if they use who, what, or
yeah, it's typically always what, just because otherwise, like then you get into a whole like semantics thing.
Perhaps it was the dog sitter.
What is the dog sitter? So yeah, Jeopardy.
Okay.
ChatGPTío, Ben, I know this is right up your alley because ChatGPT is your best friend, and I bet you could talk to a Mexican uncle to get your answers.
First of all, he's mi mejor amigo.
Sí. Que bueno.
Que bueno que viste.
You said que.
Que bueno que viste. Entonces, me llamo Benjamin y bienvenido a the 10 to 1.
Why do you mumble when you do Spanish?
Because I try to be as accurate as possible to a racist.
It's so close to getting it.
Now, did this concept feel similar to anyone else? I feel like we've seen this not with ChatGPT, but we've seen this concept of like,
Yeah, I mean,
here's a product and we're going to have an actual person interacting with that.
Yeah, I mean, the framework is pretty basic, but like it's how you utilize it and what you do with it that makes it refreshing. You know, it's the same way like you can have umpteen different game show or talk show iterations. And I like this one because of the Marcelo Hernandez framing. You know, it feels very true to like a very boisterous uncle, a Mexican uncle, and that's just really the way he answers.
I did like the escalation of like, it's the only one that will get a hold of you. He's like, hey, gringo, what's the one? It's like Smash Mouth.
My favorite part is when they're like, also it's 40% louder than our competitors, and like he smashes the Domino's game, and it's like, what? And he's like, how do I make a vegan banana bread? You don't.
How do I make vegan banana bread? You don't.
I like the short like responses of like that stuff, and so like hey, this was I think pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, and it didn't go on too long.
Yeah,
they could have clearly gone longer and longer with it. And like, are you using my cell phone to take pictures of me?
That was fun.
That was fun.
Also, I don't know if you heard. Some people in the audience definitely heard, but there's a point when Bad Bunny says "culos" when he's talking about Mikey Day's
his ass,
wife. Yeah,
wife's ass. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Is everything okay with my wife? But yeah, this was solid, and you know, this is like one of several sketches actually, you know, that does exactly what they did right the first time when Bad Bunny hosted, which is lean into the fact that he's a native Spanish speaker and doing stuff that really fits into his like cultural perspective and like his pop culture awareness and whatnot.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like taking somebody and shoehorning them in. It takes it like, oh, this is more an exploration of who this person is overall, and that's what SNL's. That's when they're at their best.
Yeah, and I really thought that there was going to be a lot of that with Marcelo Hernandez because that's what worked the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just keep leaning into what worked.
I love that he's there too, because I think if Marcelo Hernandez wasn't there, I don't know that we would get as good of an episode from.
Yeah.
Bad
No
Bunny.
way. Yeah. No, not at all.
All right, moving on to the next sketch, The Donor. We have Sarah Sherman and Chloe Feynman as a couple asking their friend, played by Andrew Dismukes, to donate his sperm so that they can have a child. This has a couple fun turns that I was not anticipating. I didn't know where the sketch was going to go until they happened. And then you have Bad Bunny as somebody who overhears the conversation and says, oh, hey, you can have my stuff if you want it.
So this, to me, this was at its best when you're like using, again, like the word stuff instead of sperm.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be crass to be funny. Like you can use my stuff.
You can put it in the front or in the back.
But why would you put it in the back? Like that's where it was at its best. It was again though, like this is a very, very basic premise and they're using the weirdness of it to escalate. I don't know. There's not a lot going on.
It didn't get weird enough. I wanted it to go weirder.
I would have preferred one more layer after, because Keenan is like, can I have it?
Can I have the stuff?
I thought there was going to be more of them kind of like negotiating with each other, and there wasn't a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like that we were getting much from, let me just go talk to, I'll be on the phone, I'll come right back. And then like you figured, okay, now it's going to really ramp up, and then he's going to walk into the middle of this whole thing, and it just kind of died. And
Dismukes walks back in, and there's no interaction between Dismukes and the two guys that are clearly sitting at the table, and like that's awkward too.
I feel like a missed opportunity for like Dismukes to question like what's going on,
and then lastly, you bring in Marcelo Hernandez as clearly Bad Bunny's son. I don't know, you need that, but they didn't really know how to end it. So
I mean, that's a fine enough ending. Like it works, and especially because I don't know if you noticed it, but that's a callback to the very beginning of the sketch.
He wanted a son.
No, not just that. The Sopranos ending.
Oh no! That ending's fine.
Yeah.
But having Marcelo Hernandez come in as his son, I don't know that I needed that part. But no, the Sopranos ending was great.
Exactly.
I did like that they used the Sopranos ending to just end it because they didn't know what to do once the son came in.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's why it worked for me. Is because like they combined those two things and they did a pretty good job wrapping it up. But at least more than some SNL sketches do.
Fair enough.
Okay, moving on to the next sketch. We have K-pop Demon Hunters. Now I know you guys are probably big K-pop Demon Hunters fan. Ben, why don't you tell me your favorite song from the movie?
I like the one that Hunter X does.
Huntrix.
Damn it.
Joe, how about you? What's your favorite K-pop Demon Hunter song?
I don't know anything. All I know is what they talk about on TV. I don't even think my kids have seen it.
You're missing out because it is a great animated
I heard
movie
it's good.
with a phenomenal soundtrack.
I've heard it's great.
So really glad that we have you guys here to talk about this one.
Just the cultural zeitgeist. It's permeating. We get it.
So we have this sketch with Sarah Sherman, Chloe Fineman, Mikey Day, and Bad Bunny as friends who are seeing each other for the first time in a long time. And Bad Bunny, of course, can't stop talking about K-pop Demon Hunters because he loves it, even though he doesn't have kids, and keeps thinking about the band Huntrix with the real singers who play the band in the movie.
And shout out to just keeping the two actresses in the exact same seat in the exact same set and just changing a couple walls and just reusing the entire thing. What are we doing?
Well, it's a different restaurant.
So lazy.
You always sit in chairs when you go to restaurants.
They have the best set department in the entire world.
So what, you want to set it in like a YMCA pool just because?
I do feel the first half of Saturday Night Live before we got to the music performance was pretty heavy with a lot of stuff. So whatever they could do to make it simpler, I feel like that that works.
Why don't you cry about it?
Maybe have them on the other side of the table at least.
Maybe change the set design so that they can be in an old shoe factory.
I would have taken
Fucking idiot. Anyway, this was fun. I don't think it necessarily taps in a way that like justifies referencing K-pop Demon Hunters. It's definitely an echo of the Jumanji sketch, I think, in a way. Where like they keep talking about, the thing over and over again. I did like that they did have Huntrix actually appear and sing in the thought bubbles and stuff like that. And then having Bowen Yang appear as one of the actual characters. And then even the turn with Sarah Sherman getting to do a little bit of gore stuff was fun.
So that was the peak for me, Sarah Sherman.
I think a lot of times, because Bad Bunny is not a native speaker, it can be stilted and then it can throw off a sketch. So when SNL is at its best, they're leaning into this by saying, okay, how do we make a good sketch where Bad Bunny can shine? So let's do a pre-taped monologue or recorded lines, and so he's in his own head saying it out loud. So they could do multiple takes of that, so it's pretty spot on, and he doesn't have to worry about being a non-native speaker. That part worked really well. The stuff that was live though, where he was trying to talk, and then that's where it gets stilted, and it kind of throws the sketch off, and that's tough. I don't blame him because I don't speak Spanish. It's fucking really hard. It doesn't mean though that it's a seamless and a great sketch though. It falls flat because of that.
I agree. I think though to his benefit in this one at least, and sometimes they know how to do this, is that I think that him being a little bit more stilted in his English works in this sketch because it makes him a bit more awkward in like talking about K-pop Demon Hunters and like the way he gets mad at his friends and calling them idiots and stuff like that. In this case, it still like interrupted the momentum a bit, but it worked for the character.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but there's always ways to improve that. But I do the voiceover though, that works, and then having the actual singers was really cool.
Yeah, when the door opened up, I'm like, well, these must be the actual singers because
awesome.
they are killing this song.
Yeah, they crush it. Listen to that soundtrack. Watch that movie.
We're going to watch it.
Pop that K.
Yeah.
K that pop.
Weekend update. Colin Jost and Michael Che, they're back, baby.
They're back. So back.
Now, for those of you that are just listening for the very first time to the
Colin Jost is the white one, and Michael Che is the black one.
I write that on my hand.
We have something called the Bradometer. And the Bradometer is how well the interaction between Che and Jost is. 0 to 100, kind of like a Rotten Tomatoes score. The more interaction that they have between each other, the more camaraderie, and the better the sketches or the weekend update is overall, all influence this number. Brad, is your number dialed in on your calculatory device?
You know it is, my homie.
So we're gauging on the vibe.
Gauging on the overall vibe of and so like if they're facing each other and having a conversation, breaking the fourth wall and actually talking, that's like 110, right?
Well,
if they literally are having so much fun that they can't contain themselves and they're interacting, that's what Brad loves the most, and that's true. If there's not really anything like that, and it's just a very straightforward weekend update, then that's definitely a lower score.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So that being said,
it's a bit exaggerated because like just because they talk doesn't mean it's 110. It's got to be like pretty big. Like 110 would be like joke swap.
Exactly. I think that for the first episode,
I'm coming in a little low for this one.
I think
I'm thinking like 76. 76.
I think I'm going to go 81.
Ooh, you guys are both over. I went with 75.
Ooh.
Yeah, keeping it real, because there was a little bit of, Colin laughing and talking about Michael Che with the boobs, and
Yeah. I'm
Che,
still thinking about the
Che
boobs.
reacting to some of Joseph's headlines, but not a lot of like direct jabbing or interacting.
Hey, it's the 90s, whatever.
Yeah. Thanks, please, over that.
So, decent Weekend Update. The first season of Weekend Update, it's always, the first episode of Weekend Update for the season is always a lot of catch up. They're hitting things that came over the summer that they couldn't comment on because they're off the air on hiatus. So, some of the stuff doesn't always feel as fresh as it could, but, there were some decent punchlines here.
Got a Jennifer Coolidge impression again. Is that?
They're still trying to make it happen.
Really get that in there.
I mean, and it worked for
It's funny.
for what was being said.
I liked it. I did like it.
Not upset by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so not much to comment on as far as like the Weekend Update punchlines. I don't think pretty basic stuff. Nothing that like I was crazy about.
I will say I was a little disappointed just because I felt like there was so much that was expected to be said, and maybe that's my own expectations, and things just weren't said. So when it was all done, I was like, "That's all we're gonna get out of you guys."
Well, I wanted them to really go at like. They have a voice here, you know, and with everything that's going on, I really felt like they could just be out and out fucking mean about it.
Yeah, we didn't
Like,
think
go
they were
for it.
coming back, so Colin and Michael Che came back. Everything that's happening in the world, you've got all that. On top of it, you got the FCC and like silencing comedians and all that stuff. This was your chance to just come out swinging, fire everything. And this is, the way I looked at it, if Lauren's not leaving after 50, that means he's either going to go out swinging on all this stuff or they're going to have to ask him to leave. That's how it's going to be.
I don't think they'll ever ask him to
No,
leave.
but like ask him to leave, like we have to because we're bowing to this administration. Kind of thing.
I think
like, that's how I thought this season was going to go. Like we are going to lead the charge because we are SNL and we set the culture.
Yeah,
and they did not do
very
that.
weak.
I think that in their defense, there wasn't much that they could say that hadn't already been said by Kimmel, Colbert,
I
Seth
call
Meyers.
bullshit on that because you have some of the best comedy writers in the entire world, and you can't come up with anything more visceral than what we got. Like,
I see
was
great
just
things
very-
on TikTok of
very
people
soft.
saying stuff. I'm like,
I think if something had more directly happened to SNL, they'd probably have more of an axe to grind. Doesn't mean they're not upset by what happened.
I think that's Lauren just stepping down on them and saying, "No, we're not doing that. We're going to stay out of it."
Maybe, but I also think that there's been plenty of times where like because late night is on every 4 out of the 5 weekdays, and what was happening has directly impacted Colbert and Kimmel, especially. I don't think SNL is really going to say much that isn't better than what they said.
I'm saying that he's stepping down on it because just like Jimmy Fallon is apolitical, he stays out of it, and like it's bullshit. Like he should be speaking up because that's his fellow people. But Lorne Michaels produces that show and he won't let him. And I guarantee you that's what it is.
I think if that were true, then they wouldn't have done something about it in the cold open.
No, but again, it was very passable. They know they have to say something, so that's what they're gonna get to do because Lauren's gonna let them do that. But as long as Lauren's there, it's not gonna be as visceral as we want it to be. It's just not.
I don't know about that. But
He's got plenty of high Republican friends, and he's the one that had Elon Musk host. He had Trump host.
True.
He turned him into a fucking candidate. Like, I love Lorne Michaels for what he's done for comedy, but as an 81-year-old man, he's not necessarily the savior of freedom of speech and shit anymore. He's basically letting a lot of shit happen that he doesn't need to let happen. He could turn him loose.
I mean, he let Donald Trump and Elon Musk host. What's more freedom of speech than that?
Okay, Joe Rogan.
So we let's talk about the appearances at the Weekend Update desk. We have the debut of Cam Patterson, one of the new cast members on the show, featured
Speaking
player.
of Joe Rogan,
Yes, Cam Patterson, in case you haven't heard, comes mostly from the Tony Hinchcliffe podcast, Kill Tony, and their live shows. And he does stand up, and this is basically a kind of a stand up bit, but like made for network TV, where he talks about wanting to say the N-word as a black guy on TV. I did love the roll the clip, and Colin Jost was like, no, don't roll the clip.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think that this was a decent bit. It was funny, something for him to uniquely talk about. I also kind of like that he addressed like what his vibe already is out there as far as what people perceive of his comedy and his persona and his presence, which is good, I think, to get out in front of as a featured player, especially as yourself at the Weekend Update desk. Solid. Not amazing, but also definitely not bad. I appreciated, I think, what he brought to the table.
I wasn't blown away by it. My daughter thought that she was like, oh, he's great. This guy is young. He's going to come out and like give a lot of energy. I just felt that his whole bit was just like we're just trying to get to say a word that you can't say on the radio or on TV. That's going to be your whole spiel. I'm like we've gone through this. Every comedian always wishes they could say that. And if that's your whole identity, I'm like, well, you got to give me a little bit more than just wanting to say the N word. Like that's terrible.
I hope that
to say, but it's like you got to give me a little bit more than that.
I hope that he can get to a point where he's more comfortable, because obviously nerves are everything, but he's a little garbled, a little mush mouth going on.
He's excited.
And he's excited and nervous.
Yeah. First appearance.
Yeah, exactly. But I really put that at nerves rather than anything else.
Yeah.
So I hope to see him back at the Weekend Update desk. I think he's a very funny stand-up. He is. And so I do want to give him that credit and his due diligence, because again, you write these people off after one freaking episode, and it's insane to me. So give this guy some time. He's he's young, he's nervous, but that's a funny premise, but there was a little bit of meat left on the bone there.
It was a one joke.
Interesting. That Ben's cutting him more slack than Jane Wickline. So that's interesting.
Well,
I support that.
Speaking of,
I support
Jane
that.
Wickline was at the Weekend Update desk during the dress rehearsal.
Indeed.
And she got cut. It was a song evidently about
Apparently
Harry Styles.
Yeah, about he did
running the marathon.
Yeah, he did the Berlin Marathon, and apparently he finished under 3 hours, which makes him like one of the
top
fastest
5% to do it.
Yeah. But it
that got cut, and then
it did not do as well as Cam Patterson's bit, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But let's talk about the second bit, which is pretty great, with Bowen Yang as Dobby the house elf from the Harry Potter franchise, taking a jab at J.K. Rowling and all her stupid transphobe views.
Love that.
This was hilarious. First of all, because A, Bowen Yang is great in this kind of role.
The costume is great.
Perfect.
But also, B, the costume gaffe, which he turned into a joke, and it stayed in character and was perfect like Bowen Yang is in these parts. I love that he used this to call out J.K. Rowling. I love that he used Cho Chang as a great joke about the Asian stereotype of that character in the book. Everything about this bit was hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. I have no notes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it was great.
He killed it.
He
The
killed it.
specificity to the Harry Potter lore, especially, like
Very
shows
good.
that like he knows at least whoever wrote it. If it's not Bowen
And the
Yang.
fact that Colin had to say, but you're free. You were given a piece of
Yeah.
by your master.
and the magical sound, everyone reacting to it.
Shay's like, I didn't read that shit. And Joe's like, I have actually read all of them. Like, it's great.
And I love that Bowen Yang went to the camera and it was hitting his head on it.
It's good.
Yeah, this was a fantastic Bowen Yang bit. And I
Loved
would
it.
expect no less from him.
Yep.
So, okay, back after Weekend Update, we have Inventing Spanish, which is kind of a follow-up to their Explorer sketch from the first time Bad Bunny host, except this is a live one and not a pre-tape.
And a bit of the George Washington-ish
100%.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's what this felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this felt like the Spanish version of Washington's Dream.
But again, meat on the bone. I feel like they just had something. They didn't go all the way with it.
I love Bad Bunny's accent on that too. It was
Yes.
very like regal sounding.
it was
when
that.
he was doing
That was
Good.
a great character.
Yeah.
I don't think that they used the premise to its full potential. You're right. I think there was more there they could have dug into. But as someone who has taken Spanish classes and does know the most basic form of the language, having them talk about those kinds of things, because like you never stop and think how ridiculous it is. Oh yeah, some of the words are going to be
Masculine.
boys and some are going to be girls.
That's good.
So just
What about
just
the word
that alone.
dress?
That's going to surprise you.
That's a boy.
That's a boy.
Did you notice Ben Marshall in this sketch? Did you see him?
As the
I did
executioner.
not.
There he was. He was the executioner. And also they had, the other cast members just sitting around in the background as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
So,
And
I
there
saw
was-
him in
and
the-
it was Barcelona.
it was actually one of the few times we got to see Tommy Brennan in a sketch. He was
yeah.
there. He was there because he didn't really get much to do this time. So
But that's okay.
we're waiting.
We're going to wait.
It's fine.
Everybody's-
Plenty of opportunities for white guys remain.
They're gonna do the thing that they did kind of with Molly Kearney's year, and everybody got a bit at the Weekend Update desk, like the first 4 episodes.
Yes.
I believe that's what.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna see that.
We'll see if they have the power to do it. Then I'm sure that they will. But yeah, I think this was one of the better sketches of the night. The Benicio del Toro cameo.
Yeah.
a lot of fun too.
I love Benicio del Toro.
Everyone from One Battle After Another is out there.
They're
like,
doing
really,
everything.
really trying to like.
It's a
Podcasts,
$180 million movie, so they have to.
Yeah. It deserves it. If you haven't seen One Battle After Another and you like movies and you just like stuff, go see it.
You like stuff? Go see it.
Next sketch, Parent Teacher Conference. We have Marcelo Hernandez and Bad Bunny as a father and son, and Ashley Padilla and Andrew Dismukes as teachers who are trying to talk to Marcelo Hernandez's father about some inappropriate drawings.
Joe, what did you think about this one?
This was one of those obligatory, the host is good looking, now we have to fawn over them sketches.
At least they didn't do it 100 times like they did with Jacob Elordi.
Yes, that was annoying.
That was the entire episode.
Yeah.
This was nice. Do I like how it kind of played out? Nah, it could have gone a little bit. I think it always can go a little further. If she could get a little bit more overt and lurid with her coming on.
If they banged on the desk.
Well, maybe not quite that.
Ashley and I were watching it. We said there's, again, something left on the table there is maybe the interaction between Dismukes and her, like they could maybe instead of just teachers, maybe they were married, right? Where it's like you're doing this for that kind of thing could have just been an easy escalation, you know. But I don't know, just something like that. But I did like Padilla. She was great.
She was fantastic in the sketch for sure. The drawings were funny.
They were funny too. Yeah.
I actually almost want to take the one drawing with the rocket coming out of her butt and put it on t-shirt, like she said.
Yeah. So that's good. And then also the idea that like, oh well, he's giving me a necklace, like to take a nasty drawing. Like how could I change this?
Yeah.
That's smart writing. It was
it's a
well
bat.
Done. It's a bat. That's good.
You can't do that.
Why not?
You're white.
But I thought I could be the racist.
Well, you are.
Oh,
Emo Marcello got high points.
Emo Marcello
from my teenage daughter as well.
Oh, of course.
She liked that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What did your sons think?
They didn't watch it because they're 8 and 11. So
They don't like satire.
Not yet.
Okay, the last sketch of the night, El Chavo de Ocho, English version, which is the closing sketch. Now, this has Marcelo Hernandez as El Chavo, and the rest of the cast, including Bad Bunny, Sarah Sherman, and Jon Hamm, and Chloe Fineman, as characters from a real show that is broadcast in Spanish, that's very famous, iconic comedy show even. And really, they're just riffing on it in a way where they're doing what the show is, but with adult actors and like
I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I read online, and so that's why I don't know if it's true, that the original show is where the Simpsons got Bumblebee Man.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true. And so this is really they're not even doing a full-on satire of it. It felt almost just kind of like
a straight up replay.
Yeah, like a tribute, I guess, because of exactly what the show is. Very famous, very beloved. It was fun seeing Bad Bunny do this, especially because he obviously put something in his mouth to make his cheeks puff out and make him look more boyish. I love seeing Sarah Sherman as the nerdy, awkward girl and getting pied in the face a couple times.
In my head, I'm like, you got to take the pie off. She's gonna choke. Like it was like it got stuck there, and I'm like, she can't breathe.
She's always down for doing the grossest things
course.
too.
Well,
put stuff in her mouth to have
Dismukes with the fake hammer and all that stuff. He was great too.
Yeah.
It was just everybody was very good in this sketch.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that this was laugh out loud funny.
No.
It was amusing, but it was more just charming.
Interesting and
and
fun to watch.
Yeah. And of course, Jon Hamm popping up at the end, which is always a delight.
Of course.
Got to keep that cameo streak going.
Mr. Stomach.
And I really do.
It's so weird. Keaton is Mr. Stomach. Is that the real character's name?
I believe it is.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I really do like and appreciate that they gave a chance to something like this, even if it wasn't something that was downright hilarious.
It feels like a real 10-1.
Yeah.
Do something weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was cool. It was,
The diehards are the only ones sitting up watching it still, so give us something.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And that's the end of this episode. I would say this kind of goes along line with pretty much every season premiere, which is typically a little rough around the edges, a little shaggy. Yeah. They're coming back from a long break. They're getting back into the swing of things. Some decent, peaks here and there. I
didn't love it. It was fine. The hyperbole online is insane, though. You read these things on Reddit, and it's like, "This is top 10, one of the worst episodes the show's ever had." I'm like, "You've seen what? Have you seen 11 episodes totally? What are you doing? There's just no. There's no. What am I looking for here? There's no grace at all anymore. It's just either it's the worst thing ever, or it's the best thing ever. There's no
because we have to decide instantly.
Exactly.
It's either the best or the worst, and there's no room for grace.
This is
terrible.
This is maybe one of the biggest problems I think with social media in general. We don't have to pause. We just stop.
We're literally wrapping up in the next 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna say all the kids are getting here and stuff now, so I'm gonna keep them upstairs.
Put them in the pool.
What do you mean all the kids? I thought it was one kid.
Yeah, and then Noah's gonna come over too.
Just give us like 5 minutes and we'll be done. Just keep them in there for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Thanks, babe.
5 minutes, everyone.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And just tell them to be quiet, please. Just 5 minutes.
What was I saying?
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hold on.
problems with social media.
Ashley's
I
going
know,
to tell
I
them to be
actually-
quiet, but then she's going to keep talking about it. Hold on. Ash, we can still hear you, babe.
Bang.
All right, go ahead.
I think one of the biggest problems with social media, other than everything, is there's such an obligation that people think that they have to offer an instant reaction to any form of media, and I've been guilty of this too. You know, I see a movie, I'll tweet about it. I have tried it more recently to like take the night, take it the evening, and the next day tweet about it, like really think about it, because I found, especially with certain movies, I'm not ready to like offer a full take or reaction to it because like I need to like soak it in and absorb stuff. And so like I think that the idea of reacting stuff immediately and having a take that you want people to like retweet and react to itself, you go for the hyperbole. It's like, oh, this is one of the best movies ever, or oh man, this is fucking terrible. Like,
Because that's what happens.
smash
though.
the like button and subscribe.
If you do that, then you do get the reaction that you want because people disagree with you, right?
Well,
So
people are looking for
Exactly.
something that's going to validate how they feel,
Yep.
or look for somebody that's saying the opposite so they can pounce on that
Absolutely.
person. So it's all about the instant reaction.
But I
and,
can
like,
appreciate that you want to do like I saw this movie. My first initial reaction that I want to sleep on is this. But saying out loud, the like I'm gonna sit on this, but right now here's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm allowed to change my opinion tomorrow. I don't want to get in trouble for changing how I feel about a movie I saw last night by waking up and feeling different about it. You're allowed to have feelings that change. It's so weird that you've got to just that's not what you said last night, motherfucker. Oh come on.
Yeah, because like there was the one time I remember where you were like oh man, I love Birth of a Nation. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And then the next day you were like, yep, still love it.
No, I slept on it and I was like, this is fantastic. Wow.
But no, so out of the gate, fine
Fine.
episode.
Yeah.
Like what you know?
What was your
fine with a sigh, I guess.
What was your favorite sketch of the night, Bradford?
I think my favorite sketch of the night was probably the Spanish language sketch, Inventing Spanish. Probably my favorite one, I think.
Joe, how about you, buddy?
I'm going to say, surprisingly, the K-pop Demon Hunters one. I thought that Bowen Yang's costume was funny. I liked what Sarah Sherman did. The song was really good, so it's got me interested in watching K-pop Demon Hunters.
You should. It's good.
I think it was a solid episode. I do really like. I think I was going to say the Spanish language one,
But it scared you.
but I don't want to just do the pundit thing where we all agree. Like that's not fun.
No, I like
I like the other one too. I think that one was good too.
I liked Student Teacher Conference the best. I thought that Ashley Padilla flirting with Bad Bunny was really funny. I liked I wish there was more escalation, like you said, but I think that Ashley Padilla really knocked it out of the park. She was very good, and I really am looking forward to her stepping up this year and being a big part of the cast.
And since I'm sitting in the Nate chair, could I just say, if we did count Weekend Update bits as part of a sketch that I could choose, I would choose
We
the
would
Dobby.
choose Dobby.
That's more of a Ben move than a Nate move, but yeah. I actually, because of that, I actually will give Bowen Yang MVP on top of the
Yes.
fact that he was the demon in
the
K-pop
Demon
Demon Hunters. So, I think Bowen Yang is my MVP. What about you guys?
100%.
I'm giving
Bowen.
it to Ashley Padilla.
Oh, okay. So she's your Heidi Gardner now.
No, I like her.
Why'd you say it like that? Why'd your voice go up?
Because I'm fine.
It went up a whole octave.
I didn't.
It's going up again even higher.
No, I think that
If you're feeling since Heidi Gardner left, you're trying to find a replacement.
I'm so thankful that she is going to be when Chloe Trost was fired.
Yes.
I was not happy about that whatsoever.
No, yeah.
I thought that either there's something behind the scenes going on there because her singing and her talent was just right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was really looking forward
You
to
could use her for anything.
Absolutely. And so you need a strong female presence on this show, especially since Ego and Heidi have left.
Yeah.
And, and then previous to that, Cecily and Kate and 80. So getting a strong female presence that has grounded footing for years to come is important. And I really think Ashley Padilla is the right move here. I can't remember how to say Swarovski. How do you say her name? The new
Swarovski?
Veronica Slowakowska.
Slowakowska. I'm sorry. I'm going to remember that next time. Slowakowska. I'm hopeful for her.
She was in a few things. She
Yeah.
seemed good.
She physically looks a lot more like Kristen Wiig than I thought.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
surprised
It
by
really
that.
struck
Yes.
me.
She's. I actually kind of thought she looked a little bit like Sarah Chalk too.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, yeah. Scrubs.
But but at the very least, I think that she proved in this episode she's very good at just fitting into sketches as whatever they need. You know.
And that's, versatility is everything on the show, as we know. Like the better you are at a lot of different things. I mean, Mikey Day is just an everyman, right?
Yeah.
But Andrew Dismukes seems to be like he can fill more roles. That with Michael Longfellow, again, I thought he should have stayed, right? I miss him tremendously.
Miss Michael Longfellow a lot.
So it's gonna be an interesting year, but I'm excited. So yeah, we got. So how did Bad Bunny do overall?
I don't think it was quite as good as his first episode, but I think it was fun, and it's I'll be glad whenever he comes back.
Yep. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
cool.
Solid.
Who do we have next week?
Amy Poehler is coming back to SNL by herself this time.
Now, does she have any experience on sketch comedy shows, though?
Soap operas is primarily what she's known for.
Okay.
And podcasts now.
I was going to say, they bring these podcast
These real
flash in a pan people on.
podcasters.
Will she do well?
Fingers crossed she can kind of nail it,
So yeah, she'll be back with Role Model, who we learned about in our last episode, is a musician.
That's a person that sings.
Like an indie rock.
Kind of a little bit rap, I guess.
Yeah.
Were there any more notes from your daughter that you didn't get to shoehorn in that you'd like? Because I do want to give her due. We did promise you that she'd get a little voice here, so I just want to make sure she's happy at the end of the day.
It's just Marshall Hernandez, a lot of sweating emojis.
She misses Ego and Michael Longfellow the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
Those were two big ones.
It's nice to hear about the young generation having like such a an interest and like knowledge of the show.
Oh, we were texting every time something got announced on a casting. I would text her while she's at school, or she would like text
That's
me. I'd
great,
get out of a meeting. I'm like, oh my gosh, they really got rid of that person. Like, what are they going to do now?
Well, if you guys are listening and you do have kids of a certain age that you're watching the show with,
take them to see one battle after another,
and they've got opinions, we'd like to hear from them too. We really do not just want to be 40-year-old dudes that talk about SNL.
I'm 39.
I like other perspectives. So
well, yeah, and you guys have mentioned this before. It's like, it goes in waves. It's generational with Saturday Night Live. So something that we might not find funny, it's just not designed for us.
Exactly.
It's not because it's not funny. It's just not designed towards a 47-year-old man.
And we are not at all the be-all, end-all when it comes to comedy. That's for damn sure.
I disagree.
I mean, as a straight white male in this country, isn't everything for me?
When is it our turn? Is all I keep saying.
They keep taking stuff away from us. I'm half Mexican. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're gonna lock me up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll be back next week after Amy Poehler hosts her episode. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
We'll have Nate back. Joe, thank you for coming and
Thank
filling
you for
in for
having
Nate.
me.
It was
Nate,
a lot better than we normally
It took two
expect.
people to fill your
Yes.
one seat.
So it's what is it? Be good to yourself. Be good to others.
That's it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey.